Published May 29, 2018 at 8 a.m. Updated May 29, 2018 at 7:38 a.m. Make text smaller, make text larger, more than a slip of the tongue. David Burt's speech acknowledging the 50th anniversary since the first general election under the Bermuda Constitution had too much talk of independence to be ignored. Photograph by Blaire Simmons. On December 4 last year, I wrote an opinion that was headlined "A Campaign of Independence by Stealth," in which I reminded the public about a number of utterances by high-ranking Progressive Labour Party members since the July 2017 election making thinly veiled references to independence. Rather than repeat all of them here, I will begin by reminding you of the following paragraph from that opinion, given the Premier's speech at the special sitting of Parliament of May 22 on November 24, 2017, in response to questions by MP Trevor Mines about whether the Premier had intentions to take Bermuda to independence. The Premier reportedly laughed off questions and said that MPs should not be surprised to hear discussions about cutting ties with Britain, and that he was endlessly amused by opposition inquiries into the matter. So 6 months ago, the Premier essentially dismissed the idea that independence is on the agenda, as did, you may recall, the Minister of Economic Development and Tourism, quite the about-face. Perhaps this is explained away by Britain's directive that we legislate for public beneficial ownership registers by 2020, failing which it will be done for us. Or the asinine treatment by the Premier towards the incoming Bermudian Chief Justice. The next big appointment is that of the Commissioner of Police, so watch this space if the appointee is non-Bermudian or perceived by the Premier to be non-Bermudian. So what is all this really about? Why is the Premier so keen on continuing to dedicate so much airtime to the talk of independence, despite an apparent one-liner to this newspaper that independence is not on the agenda? Why? When all polls in recent memory show that more than 70% of voters are against independence. All we can do is speculate and consider whether it really is in the best interest of Bermuda to pursue independence. So let us begin with a number of questions for consideration, given what now appears to be a not-so-stealthy campaign for independence by the Premier. 1. Is the Premier misrepresenting the truth when he says independence is not on the agenda? 2. Is the Premier feeling in such a strong political position with a 24-10 majority Bermuda if its perceptions of stability are rocked upon independence and the British flag is lowered? 9. Does the Premier believe that the Privy Council should be the final place of appeal of Bermuda court judgments again, given his obvious distaste for anyone making decisions about Bermudian matters that he insinuates are not Bermudian? 10. We need an unequivocal statement about the government's intent, not grandstanding and emotionally charged, non-factual speeches. The Premier said, "It is my hope that while Bermuda is challenged by the neo-colonialism from Westminster, that all Bermudians, white and black, PLP and OBA, can relax our political tribalism long enough to realise that if we do not meet the threat posed by the UK Parliament's latest actions, that we in Bermuda may not have the means but..." These types of coming-together statements are almost bipolar, given what else we are forced to contend with on a daily basis. I am not anti-independence. What I am against is simply using the politics of emotion in respect of such an important matter. We can at least come together and lay out the pros and cons, and explore every avenue, but this may prove impossible in a climate of fear and retribution. And, more importantly, we will not come together just because the Premier hopes we will. Leading by example is the first step in accepting Bermudians as Bermudians, regardless of their place of origin or skin color or sexual orientation, all areas that the PLP has shown utter contempt for in recent years. In 2006, the left-wing American Council on Hemispheric Affairs said that Bermudian independence was like a mackerel lying on a dock under moonlight, stinking while it shines. It went further and said, the advocates of independence must come up with decisive arguments proving that independence will overwhelmingly benefit the nation and its citizenry, or must, in good conscience, surrender their fight. The issue must not get in the way of confronting enduring economic, social and political matters that need to be solved in a timely fashion, if the island is to thrive. Housing, public health, education, an overly narrow-based economy, and the need to rehabilitate tourism. I could not have put it better. Michael Fahey is a former Minister of Home Affairs, Minister of Tourism, Transport and Municipalities, and Junior Minister of Finance under the One Bermuda Alliance government. Make text smaller, make text larger.